Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be talking about Parasite SEO and what it is, where to find it, why it's important, and how to implement it with your business, right? If you Google Parasite SEO, you get this answer. It says Parasite SEO is a controversial SEO technique where a website leverages the authority of a high-ranking domain to improve its own search engine rankings, right? So that is pretty much the definition, but this keyword controversial, I wouldn't say it's really controversial. I just think it's just some method that you should use, right? I think anyone should really use it, because if you're gonna start off with your own little domain, that just a new domain, for example, that's completely brand new, is just starting off, I would definitely recommend using this strategy to kind of grow your domain's authority. So yeah, in today's video, we're going to cover some different examples of Parasite SEO, different brands that are using it, or how to search for it for some examples. And then we're going to talk about this Parasite SEO workflow, which basically consists of keyword research, content generation, lead magnet, embed. So basically embedding a lead magnet in this content that you generated, choosing a high authority domain. So there's different locations where you can find high authority domains, indexing, and link building. So over here in this definition of Parasite SEO, we have this high ranking domain over here, right? So we have to kind of decide what that is. Like, what are some examples of this? These can include things like Medium or like LinkedIn, right? Or Quora or Reddit, some subreddits, right? Then we have, for example, Shopify, or we have Framer, right? We have WordPress. So these are like places where you can easily get started, because it's not like, for example, the New York Times, for example, something like Vice or some other kind of like high-end newspaper or blog out there. These ones are a little bit, these are basically the same thing, but they're just, hard to get your brand in here, right? So you want to start off with these guys right here, right? These guys are easier to start off with. You can basically create a post here, right, using Medium or using LinkedIn or using Quora. And just like with these guys over here, basically Google trusts these people, right? Google trusts these websites, because a lot of people right now, as you're watching this specific video, there's a lot of people going into Medium and reading a Medium article, or they're on LinkedIn looking at different LinkedIn posts, or on any of these other places, right? So Google trusts these websites. And for example, a good way to search this is actually looking in Google and searching for a specific question, like how to buy the best dog food, right? And you can see that New York Times is the first option. And over here we have Reddit, for example, and then we have these more niche related websites. They're also high authority domains. But for example, we have this New York Times one as a top one, but you can see that Reddit is over here, and it's very easy to kind of just add something to Reddit and get some traction off of that. And we can, for example, click on this specific post, and we see that it is from 2 years ago. It has 6 comments, and it was basically posted in this dogs subreddit, where they have around 2.7 million dog people, right? That's a big crowd. What I can do is I can just copy this URL, and I can bring that into Ahrefs, and I'm going to filter it for the last 2 years because it was posted 2 years ago. And you can see that it got some traffic, right? It was posted sometime in October of 2023, and then it started growing up. We got like daily traffic, 100, and then it somehow dropped, and then it went up again, and then it dropped. But the whole point to see here is that it's like basically like an evergreen post. It's always gonna, people are always gonna be coming here, like me today. I just discovered it today and just landed on this. And also, if you view their keywords, you see that we have cheapest way to buy dog food, we have cheapest place to get dog food, and they rank #1 for this specific keyword, right? And for a new domain, it's pretty hard to rank first for a keyword, because your domain is quite new and no one's really going to discover your website. And maybe the volume might not be so high, but I mean, look for the search intent, right? If you look at these first 4 keywords, you have cheapest way to buy dog food, best place to buy dog food, 260, and you're ranked number 2. So you're basically like the second highest keyword or second highest result for the specific keyword. So it's not a big volume, but the search intent is pretty high. So 260 looking potential customers for your specific product. You can also look at big websites or big web development tools like Framer, for example, or like WordPress or Shopify. And basically you can, for example, if you had some type of software, some type of plugin that helps people in Framer with something, you can click on this. Framer actually gives you an overview, 6.4 thousand visitors to this specific plugin. And then you can basically link your creator site and also your studio name if you want to get some clients or sell some of your products like templates or plugins. Now going back to our Parasite SEO workflow, we have keyword research as number 1. And obviously the best way for you to do keyword research is for you to, first do it manually. You can go and look at your competitors, right? And see what types of keywords they're ranking for. But you can also do the same thing at the same time with AI, right? AI is something that we should all be leveraging because it saves us time and effort. And for example, I really love to use Arvow. It's, for me, the best SEO research and writer tool out there. More of a good content generating tool. And basically it has this feeds feature where you can set up a keyword feed. So you can track high ranking keywords effortlessly with a personalized feed. We can click on that. And then, for example, we can choose one of these companies like Open Farm Pet, just for an example. Then we can add this company URL over here. We can enter some keyword seeds. So if we were to open Ahrefs and look for some keywords here, we can kind of add these keywords over here. So we don't want to have any branded keywords like open farm or dog food is also pretty general. But we can have something like healthiest dry dog food or let's see, wet dog food. We can probably get this, just copy this, bring this over here, click on enter. We can add some competitors. So if we search for this specific keyword, we can just pick on one of these so this was our brand, for example. We can just click on this one, Ollie, and copy this URL, bring it over here, paste. Country, United States, language, English. We can create a feed like this. And then basically what Arvow does is that it generates a whole list of different keywords that you can use based on your competitor and the seed keyword that you provided it with. So we have open farm, good bowl. So this, for example, is a little bit more branded. You can see the search volume over here. Dog names might be interesting. It has a pretty higher difficulty, but yeah, you can see the volume and the difficulty, and you can create content out of that. And that comes to our next point, which is creating content. So I'm going to get another color over here, content generation, right? Once we've done our research over here, what we can then do, right, is generate content, right? We want to generate content and push it in our website. So we have not only one blog post, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 50, 100, etc. Basically driving people in and answering questions of current customers and potential customers that would want to eventually buy your products. And of course, you'd have to generate these contents based on different keywords, right? So for example, how long can wet dog food sit out? We can get this one, and we can go into generate articles and just paste this in here, add the keywords. We can add another one if we wanted to go over here. So how long can wet dog food sit out? Dog names, can dog eat cat food? Let's see, we can try that one as well. So we're just answering different questions that can potentially lead to a specific call to action to drive these readers to our product based on their search intent, right? We also have like best dog food brands, right? We can put that here. And let's just choose another one. Vet approved homemade dog food recipes. Sounds interesting. Add keywords. And as you can see, I've added 4 different keywords down here. And now what we can do is we can automatically generate an article without, even touching anything, or we can go and into these advanced settings. So for example, we can go, how long can wet dog food sit out? we can click on this pen tool and we can generate a title with AI. So wet dog food, how long is it too long? How long is too long, right? We have generate keywords based on this focus keyword, leaving wet dog food out. How long can wet dog food be left out? How can wet dog food be left out overnight? Is it safe? So all of these keywords that are generated are not just randomly generated. They are, this AI is tailored to be your SEO expert, so SEO writing expert. So these keywords are, perfectly vetted for your blog post. We can click on Save Changes. Then we can generate an outline for your blog post, which you can basically read over here. See how fast it is. You can read Understanding the Risk, Bacterial Growth, Loss of Nutritional Value, and basically you can, move things around, change certain things, right? You can delete certain things and so on and so forth. You can change the target country, you can change the tone of voice, the formality, point of view. You can add your own knowledge base, basically your assets. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have an Instagram account, you can connect it to the web. Let's just leave it like that. You can edit the formatting, the structure. You can add a specific call to action that will automatically add at the end of the post. You can add your site's sitemap. So for example, if you have the link and you just want to copy that and then bring that over here, basically go like this, find sitemap, find, and then basically it adds it like that, right? We can increase the links per H2. So basically for each paragraph, it's going to have around 6 external links and internal links. So now that we gave it this, it's basically going to crawl through all of these pages and kind of gather different internal links that we can add to this, right? So we have that. We have external linkings. We can include external links that we want to add. We can exclude some, for example, some competitors that we don't want to mention in this specific post. Images, we can do AI images and all of that. Videos as well. We can automate YouTube videos. It finds YouTube videos for us. Click on Save Changes. And let's then click on Generate Article. And it's going to now start to generate. But basically, let's just go back to our notes. And what we did here was that we did our keyword research with Arvow. We are now generating the content with Arvow. And then the next step here would be to basically get this lead magnet embed. So we would want some type of lead magnet down here inside of our blog post to kind of lead people to our product, right? To a specific product or to a collection of products or something like that, right? And going back into Arvow, once the content is done generating, we get the title, we get all of the content over here with different internal and external links here and there, right? We have different formats. We have tables, for example. So we have quotes. We have different bullet points here and there. We have an FAQ at the bottom. And then we can, for example, inside of this wrapping it up, we could add the call to action here, or we can publish this article and add the call to action kind of like in the side or the bottom of the blog post. If you want to read more about, or if you want to learn more about creating a good blog content structure, I have another video about that in my channel. But yeah, you can automatically publish this article. And if we go back into Excalidraw, now the next thing is the fun part, choosing a high authority domain, right? So we have your blog posts with your call to action. And now what we want to do is we want to share this, right? We have our website over here, but there's not a lot of visitors coming there. So we want to share this to Reddit. We want to share this to Medium. We want to share this to LinkedIn, right? We want to share this one over here to, what else did we have? Quora, right? If you built this inside of, or if you have some type of tool that helps people with, or helps web designers or agencies or something, you want to post it somewhere like in Framer or like Webflow, WordPress or something like that. So you have to find all of these different like places, right? And then what you do is you just create a post, just like we saw previously over here with this dog post. You create a post, and very important is that you don't want to create the same type of post everywhere. You want to basically have unique posts, right? You want to have unique posts that are not duplicates, because yeah, it's just not good to have it like that. Just have different types of content here and there based on this one page, right? just to drive traffic, right? That's the whole SEO Parasite SEO strategy. I like to think of it like as a, you know, great white shark, and you have, yeah, this is a great white shark, guys, and you have these different parasites of fish, you know, swimming on it, and basically this great white shark is Reddit, right? So that can be a good visual representation for what we're doing. And then the final two things, indexing and link building, right? You can, for example, for indexing, you can use a tool like IndexBNow.com, which is great, an indexing tool that really works on Google. Basically, you add your URL, you send for indexing, you get an index check, and then you get recredited, right? So basically, just to kind of, Arvow does produce great content, but you want to have that extra layer of quality with something like IndexBNow, right? So going back into our little sketcher here. So after you do that indexing, then you can start off with the link building, right? So you can, for example, in your website, you want to have, say this is your website, right? You want to have not only posts coming in from these guys, but you also want to start with other places that are related to your niche, right? So I have another video about this, about how to build backlinks and stuff. So you can go ahead and check that out. But basically, yeah, you want to also start building backlinks, niche related backlinks, so that your domain authority starts to increase gradually over time. All right, guys, that's pretty much it from my side. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a pretty cool strategy. It's very useful to kind of increase to start to increase your domain authority inside of your domain. Use these big brands like Reddit, Quora, all of these things. So many people search for these every day, and it's just like a free pass, right? Think of that great white shark analogy, and you're that parasite on it, and you're just like getting all the food with it. So start off like that and grow out your brand like that. I think you should do all types of strategies as possible. And then at the end of the day, you're going to see what works out the best. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.